Okay. And I don't want you to confuse bullying with peer pressure, criticism, sibling rivalry, or comic relief, right? A lot of comedians started out by picking on kids in school. And other people thought it was hysterical. And this is how they started, right? They were the class clown, but a lot of times it was at somebody's expense if they were doing that. And there is something to be said for peer pressure. I don't have a problem with peer pressure either. Peer pressure is usually quite effective, right? Peer pressure. So, if you're picking your nose and you're eating your boogers and your parents keep telling you not to pick your nose and eat your boogers, get your hand out of your nose and quit eating your boogers, and then you go to school and the 4th and 5th graders are calling your kindergartner the booger eater on the bus, and now he's the booger eater, guess what? He stopped picking his nose and eating his boogers that day. It took one day. One day, somebody on the bus said that he was a booger eater, and now that's not happening anymore. So there is some use in peer pressure, okay? Peer pressure saves a lot of things that parents can't accomplish. Kids that don't want to brush their teeth, kids that smell, kids that don't wash their hair, right? Some of that one time at school, and now they're willing to do all these things. Okay. Now, I want to caution you parents about calling the parent of the bully. It is unfortunate most of the time when that happens. Usually, relationships tend to be lost. If there was a friendship there and you call the parent to tell the parent that their child that they love as much as you love your child is a bully, and you as an adult are name calling their child, they are not going to take it well. If I called any of you and said, hey, your kid's a bully, he's been picking on my son, he's been doing this, the natural response for most people is to protect their child, right? You would be upset. You would be upset that this could potentially be happening, but you'd be upset that this grown-up is talking bad about your baby. So essentially, when you do that, you, as a grown-up, are now bullying a child. It never goes well. If I can catch parents in therapy before they call, I always do. I usually hear about it after they did it. And then I call the parent. And that didn't go well. And then I'm just sorry. Like, I'm sorry that happened. It doesn't normally go well, right? So I caution you about calling any parent, because then you're the bully. Okay. I also do not like kids to tell the teacher, okay? I don't think that that's necessary. I think that you guys are supposed to be able to manage your own emotions in your own lives. You need to feel empowered enough to be able to handle this on your own. The school teachers cannot manage. The ratios are too off. It's 1 to 15, 1 to 35, depending upon how big the classroom is, right? They do their best. They do. They don't take it lightly. They actually really do care about your child. They don't want that happening in the classroom, but they don't say it all the time, because the bully's not going to have the teacher looking when they do stuff to your child, right? She's got to teach. So in the process of her teaching, this stuff is happening and she doesn't know. I don't like that. I don't like them telling the teacher. It sets up the same situation that I'll talk about. Now, the bully is in trouble from the teacher, right? The bully then can seek revenge on you because you got him in trouble with the teacher, right? Now they're suspended or they have detention or whatever. What are the chances of them wanting to be your friend ever? Like, that kind of goes away. Like, they're not going to be nice to you. If anything, hopefully they just leave you alone, but that's not always the case. right? They could still come after you, and again, we have a teacher that's lost a student as in the process. The education for this child is going to go down. Okay. We've also done this whole bystander thing. And that one I think I have a harder time with, because the bystander is actually kind of not really involved in this, right? And now somehow the bystander is getting in trouble with the school for not stepping into a bullying situation, when the bystander is just really glad it's not them. Right? If you are there and this is happening, you might be a little bit afraid. You might not, I don't want this turned on me. I don't want this happening to me. The bystander approach, and now that they come down so hard on you guys for witnessing it and not stepping in, is a problem. So now you're getting in trouble because you didn't step in, and you are getting bullied by the teachers because you didn't step in and insert yourself into a situation that you are so super glad you're not in the first place. Right? Nobody chooses to be in that situation. So don't blame the person that's standing there. Now, if you don't, when the situation ends, you can be kind to that person. You can say something to them, help them in any way, talk to them, tell them that that's wrong, that you hated that that happened to them, that not to worry about it, this kid's full, whatever you want, right? But I get if you don't want to insert yourself into a situation like that, right? And I hate that the schools are trying to make you feel guilty about not doing that. Okay. I get that this contradicts a lot of the stuff that you guys are talking about. And I get that it contradicts what your parents are saying. But I challenge you parents to think of this differently. Because I want your kids to be able to manage this. I don't want us to just protect them from this. Because this is not going to stop in school. Okay, let's see where we are. Most of the time, the school systems do know that this doesn't work because it's not getting better in their schools. There are some situations where when the school gets involved and the parents get involved, the bullying does stop, right? But there are more situations where it makes it worse. And the person that is the victim does not get any relief, and what they are looking for is peace. They just want to be left alone. Okay, so bullying in and of itself is an imbalance of power. Bullying is considered dominance behavior. Dominance behavior is also considered leadership. Right? So an imbalance of power means that the bully wants to be here and you're here. Right? That's what it is. So this is just an imbalance of power. They want to dominate, they want to be in charge. Right? And when you play the game that they want to play, that's how it stays. But when we do it different, we can switch it. And you can have more of the power. And you can be more dominant in this situation. Okay, so dominance behavior is called leadership. But the desire to dominate at someone else's expense is considered poor leadership. And corporate America is full of this. Okay? So, the angrier you guys get with a bully, the more fun the bully has. Right? Think of it as a game. Okay? So, it's about winning and losing. Usually, the more confident you are, the less issues you have with bullies. The reason for that is because confident kids don't care. They are no fun at all to call names. If you call a confident kid an idiot, they just kind of like, okay, and they move on. And that wasn't fun at all. That's no fun. And they don't feel it, they don't get upset about it, they're just pretty confident, right? But anybody can do this because this is about playing a game about who's gonna win and who's gonna lose. And everybody can do that. All kids can play a game, and all kids like to win, right? So this means that you don't have to be any kind of special kid with any kind of superhero powers, with any kind of crazy confidence. Anyone can do this. So we need to empower you by building your resilience. Resilience is only developed, parents, through adversity. They have to be exposed to adversity in order to learn to be resilient. We cannot protect them from adversity because then they don't thrive. And the younger that they start this in school, and they start experiencing adversity and hardships and sadness and all the bad emotions that we don't ever want our kids to feel. When they get good at it, when they leave you and go to college and go off in their lives, they have the tools to manage life, right? The kids that are overprotected from feeling and experiencing adversity or any sadness or negative emotions are the kids that end up back in therapy with me when they leave for college. They can't tolerate it because anything that happens in college is too stressful and they've not been exposed to it before, so they don't know how to deal with it. And you aren't there to help them. So the more adversity they experience with you in your house, when you can talk about it and still be there with them and still hug them and still kiss them, that's what makes it better. So then they have the tools that they need when they leave to go to school to manage whatever adversity comes their way, right? This is how we build up their resilience. So good leadership, healthy dominance, and the solution to bullying is the golden rule. The golden rule. Do you guys know what the golden rule is? What's the golden rule? What's the golden rule?
A rule you can always live by.
What's it called? But what is it?
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yep. That's it. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Right? Treat everyone like a friend and not like an enemy. Even if they aren't treating you like a friend. Right? That's the purpose of the golden rule, is to always treat others the way you want to be treated. Not just when everybody's being nice to you, because that's easy. Right? We're all good at that. I can be nice if you're being nice. The challenging part is when they're not being nice and still being good to them. And every religion has this rule. It's just called something else. We call it the golden rule. But any other religions that you can think of have some version of the golden rule. Okay. So I have a volunteer. I already have a place because I need permission. So you come up here, please. No, I already have him. So I'm going to teach you how to play the game, okay? And Joshua is going to help me to teach you how to play the game. So, in order to play the game, right, you want to win, I want to win, the goal is to win, okay? You're going to bully me, okay? If I can stop you from bullying me, I'll win. Okay? If you're bullying me and I cannot stop you, then you win. Got it? And the goal is to win. So we need you need to keep going, right? Don't stop. You gotta bully me. If I can get you to stop, then I'll win, and we don't want that. Okay? So if you want, just pick one thing. Usually it's like you're an idiot or you're stupid or something like that. And you can say the same thing over and over because I don't want you to be stressed about it. Okay? All right, we're good? Y'all got it? You got the game? Can everybody see what we're doing here? Got it? Okay. All right, you ready? Go.
Oh gosh.
You can do it.
You're so dumb. How do you even get through class? You're so stupid.
What?
You can't do
No, I'm
anything.
not.
Yes, you
No,
are.
I'm not.
Yes, you
Stop
don't. You
saying that to
don't. You
me.
can't even
That's
pass
not
your
right.
classes.
You're gonna
You
get
fail
yelled.
everything
I'm
you do.
gonna
You're
get
so
yelled.
stupid.
This-
No, I don't care. You're dumb.
Oh,
You're
you're
so
right.
dumb.
That's
You're,
not
no,
right.
no, you're not. You're stupid. Your teachers don't even like you. Your teachers don't like you. You got that?
So how do we do? Come on. Did he win? He won, right? He totally won. I look like a big giant loser, don't I? And it was quite entertaining, wasn't it? Like, that was funny, right? Okay, we're gonna play the game again. Same game, okay? And you can do the exact same thing that you did, but remember, if I can stop you, I win. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go.
Oh gosh.
I know, when you're on the spot, it's just hard.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
Okay. You're so dumb. You can't pass any of your classes. Yes, you are. Your teachers don't like you. You're not putting enough effort into anything. You're stupid.
I know, I tried. I know that
But you
have.
still are though. You're still dumb. Yes, I do. And I work hard. Maybe you should try. You're stupid and
I
dumb.
know. From the village of stupid. You should meet my dad. He is not the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Did I win just now? I did. I won. Okay, so which time was more fun? The first time or the second time? The first one was way more fun, right? On the first time, is it more likely that you and I are going to be friends or enemies? Right? The second time, are the chances higher that we could be friends?
Yes.
Yeah, we could, because we're not enemies. So there's the potential there. But it was way more fun the first time.